Today, welcome back to another video. Yes, I am late for the late match review of 3 days ago of Man City versus Bournemouth. Man City 2, Bournemouth 1. We got into a rough start, but we got the 3 points and all that matters. And I want to talk about the game. Obviously, we're also going to cut in more deep into the transfer window news, especially on what's going on. But before we do that, let's get started to the game. Um, First off, let's check out the lineup that Maresca put out. Donnarumma in goal, who had a very decent game. I think like the first goal was really not on him, so Donnarumma did okay. So Donnarumma in goal. Rico Lewis. If I speak, I'm in trouble. There's so much to say about Rico Lewis. Tukadir Kusanov, Ruben Diaz, Josko Vardio, Mark Gahey, Elliot Anderson, Antoine Semenyo, Nico O'Reilly, Phil Foden, and Erling Haaland on the Erling Haaland. Now, when this lineup came out, I'm just like, what is this? What is Maresca cooking? Because this lineup to me is a very weird lineup. You're putting two players out of position, you would say, because he put in Mark Gahey as a DM, which he didn't do that bad, but the issue is that Mark Gahey is not a DM, he is a center back. We also put in Nico O'Reilly to 10, which it was a meh, and yeah, I didn't like that at all. We have players that can play this position. I don't know why Maresca is doing this type of sort of thing. We also have good lord, this man is so terrible, man. Why? Why, man? Bro, I'm not gonna blame it all on him, bro, but it's like the first goal, bro. Like, when you look at how the first goal happened, Ruben Diaz go marks on the dude that has the ball. Kusanov was, you can say that also Ruben had a role in it as well, but at the same time, when you look at the pass that the Bournemouth player did to Rico Lewis didn't even mark that dude. Bournemouth did that pass, and that dude was just through on goal. So it's like, Rico Lewis cannot play right back. He can't even play at all. He literally has to go. Because every time when either Pep puts him in a game, Rico Lewis doesn't even prove that he wants to like try to do it, because every time when he's playing at right back, he gets bullied, loses the ball. Even when they try to play him as a midfielder, he also gets bullied as well. That's what we learned from the Community Shield. Mark Gahey, who had a good game, I would say he had a good game, but the problem is Mark Gahey is not a DM. He's a center back, and he actually did pretty good, but I don't want to see Mark Gahey play as a DM. I'd rather see him play as the position that he knows how to play. And the whole Bournemouth game was just a little mess. Second half we were a little better. We were creating chances. Shout out to this big Croatian bruv right here, Josko Vardio. Literally, this guy came in the game. But the one thing I want to mention about this guy was a changer. Ryan Cherki. Maresca, you have a player that can play at number 10. Stop dropping him. Literally, this guy came in and changed everything. He came out the bench and dropped 2 assists, which that means is that, man, he needs to stop dropping Cherki. Maresca needs to not drop Cherki. He needs to be in the starting 11, because Cherki is the only player that we know that he can create chances, does the passes, and actually gives service. But other than that, we got to win. So far, so good under the Maresca era. But there's a lot of things that we got to improve. And it's getting new players. And this is what we're going to talk about. Now, City with this transfer window is so far not, it's been good, but it's been bad in certain cases, because we are getting rid of every single player that was, like, you could say, under the Pep era. We got rid of Rodri, which we got from Barcelona, where we basically got the same amount of money when we paid him for Atletico. We got rid of Savinho, which I'm glad because Savinho was just a liability. Omar Marmoush is now on loan. Who else? Nathan Ake, Stones, Trafford, who's now at Leeds. Johnny Rangers. And we have actually done good in this window in terms of like earning money. Now the problem is in terms of what we're spending on. So far in this window, we have spent it around, I think you could say 240 million at the moment, because right now we have in the summer we got an Elliot Anderson, and we have finally got this beautiful player right here, Ayoub Buadi, who is now an official City player after so many months of being linked, which I don't get how long this sporting director took to get this player, because honestly this should have been announced way back. We were very too late. We were very too slow at trying to get this player, because I said if we knew that Rodri was going to leave, we should have gotten this player early. But this transfer window is also a mess as well, because we also need a bunch of other situations as well. We also need a backup right back for Nunez. We also need more. And another thing that is very ticking me and is very interesting is that we are trying to get, if I can find it, because there's a lot going on. We also saw Nico Gonzalez, which I'm very sad because he wanted to give a chance, but the board said no, which I'm very disappointed. But yeah, but this is what we're going to get. Enzo Fernandez. We are getting Enzo Fernandez supposedly for around 140 million. Now, this is where we start questioning if this would either help Maresca or it will backfire drastically, because this whole transfer window for City has been a complete cluster where we're getting rid of all these players, like all the B team that we played on Leverkusen. Because, by the way, half of the players that I mentioned the names earlier were basically all that starting 11 Leverkusen. The only two players that are still there is Kusanov, Rico Lewis. All the rest are gone. And right now, what Maresca is doing is really investing in that midfield, and we're spending a lot of cash. If this rumor is true, this is a tweet that I also want to share out as well. This tweet says it all. Says it all. Big up to this guy, because this guy is also a lot. Is a lot to say. You're telling me that this board is giving you Anderson, Budidi, Enzo Fernandez for ridiculous fee, and like I said, I'm expecting a lot for Enzo, because you're spending almost 400 million pounds on midfields. And this right here, now, if we get Enzo, there is no excuse of going deep in Champions League, because we're literally getting Enzo. We're literally gonna have Enzo, Wadi, and Ellie Anderson, all of them who came with expensive amount of fees. I expect a lot from Maresca, because if we're actually going to get Enzo. And plus, it looks like Enzo is looking to go to City, because he's agreed that he wants to reunite with Enzo Maresca and wants to join this project, which I have no problem. He just has to improve in terms of like his judgment, his way of play, and his personal stuff with with him having a lot of controversy on him. And yeah, but this is what our starting 11 should I expect with Enzo Maresca. Here is Exhibit 1. Donnarumma in goal. Nico O'Reilly, Gueye, Kusanov, Nunez, Wadi, Elliot Anderson, Doku, Cherki, Semenyo, Holland. This lineup Maresca has to do, or if he's not satisfied with this, Do this other lineup instead. This lineup right here is honestly, I ain't gonna lie, it's probably like the view of Enzo vision because honestly it looks okay, but he has to also think about it as well in terms of like Cherki has to start every game, not every game, but like any crucial game, because Cherki is literally the one that does the playmaking, that does all the chances, that does all the passes in general. And this midfield, I see how Elliot Anderson played with England. He played good with that double pivot of him and Declan Rice. And it honestly so good. But we're gonna see what happens in the window. It says the club is still linked with Enzo, but we don't know what the final fee is. Let me know what the comments you guys think about us getting Enzo Fernandez. For me personally, I won't mind, but if this is what Maresca wants to do, I'm gonna back Maresca entirely. But if this doesn't get to, I don't know, quarterfinals or semifinals or anything deep in the Champions League, or try to go after the Premier League and defend our titles with the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, questions have to be asked. And if we go this season without winning anything, or go lower in the Champions League football instead of getting Europa, and instead we get Europa League, or even worse though, Europe, which I hope God forbid we don't get that. Doors open, man. You gotta go on the first season if we don't get no trophy out of this. Which I don't care what trophy City gets. Anything. If he gets 1, 2, or anything, I'll say decent season, could do better next season. But yeah, that's my high expectation with Enzo. This lineup right here should be the lineup that Enzo should put out. This or that. Anyways, that's all for the video. Let me know in the comments down below, what lineup do you want to see Maresca do, or what do you think of this whole transfer saga going on? But this is a channel where I can share content with City, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out and enjoy the rest of your day. Also, there will be another video of me talking about the UEFA draw as well. Also, upcoming game for Palace, which I hope we win. Like I said, we can use that lineup right there. But we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.